Hello and welcome to your messages for the week. Today is Sunday, the 12th of December, 2021. And yes, I have a slightly different background. I've got a microphone working, but I did a video yesterday and the audio didn't seem so much better. So I'm not sure what's going on there. Someone suggested it was the acoustics in the room. So I'm trying this one. Okay, we live and learn. I've just seen the sunrise. Absolutely gorgeous. There is something really beautiful about the energy at the moment. And astrologically, between today and the 21st of December, the winter solstice, there are some powerful energies coming in. So let's see how we're going to navigate them, how we're going to integrate them, and how we're going to expand at this time. I think that's the most important thing. That's what's been coming up for me lately is understanding that the universe is expanding all the time and that we're expanding with it. And so really it's about expansion. And whether that is, the emotions that you're feeling, are you feeling expanded emotions or contracted emotions? So that's looking at that chart, of course. The chart, the scale of consciousness that I often share. Have a look around the YouTube channel because you'll see it if you don't know which chart I'm in. But also it's about feeling. Are you feeling good basically, or are you not feeling good? And how can you shift that? Now, yes, I mean, there's stuff happening, there's stuff going on, but it's about how we react to it. It's about how we choose to react to a situation. And this is where I find that looking at things from the bigger picture. When I say bigger picture, I mean looking at things from a soul level. Looking at things from a soul level. So yeah, shameless plug for my second book, Heal Your Soul. I'll put a link in the description. Because when you see things from a soul level, you're human, you're beautiful human, although you're human, he or she is doing a grand job. We saw that last week. Your human's doing a grand job, but your human doesn't remember the soul contracts that you made. I mean, some of you might, and some of you might have found out through Akashic record readings and birth chart readings and things like that. But yeah, it's, when you understand that dying isn't really dying, and that's another thing that I think I need to write about is the importance of dying while you're still alive. And Anita Moorjani's book, Dying to Be Me, is a very, very good example of that. I've had my own experiences with that, where, that's why people that have had near-death experiences have no fear, because death is an illusion, okay? Death is an illusion. And when you understand that, when you have no fear of death, I mean, look at what's going on in the world. I mean, oh my God, that's all fear around getting poorly, let alone dying. But if you have no fear of death, then what's going on in the world just cannot affect you. So it's really important to face all of that. And of course, that comes with expanding your level of consciousness. And that comes from raising your frequency. Anyway, let's see what the cards have to say about it. Okay, there you go, Wheel of Fortune. And that's really interesting because for me personally, the Wheel of Fortune is, it's basically about your destiny or your fate. My interpretation of the Wheel of Fortune is the birth chart. I've just mentioned the birth chart. These cards were face down, by the way, before I just picked that one up. I love the way that happens. So yes, for me, my interpretation of this is get your birth chart read, because your birth chart will have in it, it's not something I do the soul profile readings. I mean, you can have a soul profile reading read as well, because that will give you some idea as to the energies that you came here to experience and express. It will also give you some idea of your galactic origins, which also helps you raise your level of consciousness, because it kind of personifies the energy and helps you access those higher levels. But a birth chart will also show, what, I mean, I'm not an astrologer, right? But it will show you, I had mine done and it was, life-changing, because it basically tells you what you came here to do and how you came here to do it and stuff like that. So birth charts are really, really important, but not just birth charts. This is also about understanding who you are at soul level, because this is about your destiny. And people say to me all the time, 1 minute I'm telling people that we create our own reality based on our frequency, and we can raise our frequency or lower our frequency as we choose. And therefore, we can affect the reality that we're creating, okay? Because the reality is a holographic projection of our frequency, right? So 1 minute I'm saying you're creating your reality, and then the next minute we're saying that there's some kind of destiny and some kind of soul contracts going on that you've chosen to do, that your human has no control over, maybe. So that's why people often say, why do bad things happen to good people? And my answer to that is that I think the more evolved the soul is, I think they ask for more challenging experiences. They actually ask, they know they have the strength to see through it all, see through the density, I want to say, the density in humanity. They have the confidence in their own abilities to do that. And so they create the most adversity because that's what's going to help them expand into more of who they are quicker. The more adversity, the quicker the expansion. Okay, so I think that's what happens. I think the more evolved souls do that. So this is really about understanding who you are at soul level, because also, how to keep your vibes high. This was the video for December. Of course, we're still in December, so check that out. The month messages for December. What you resist persists, but how to love what is. Because when you have to see it from a higher level of consciousness. If you're only going to look at it from the third dimensional world, where you're fearful of death and fearful of pain and suffering, and you think you have no control over anything, or you think you haven't chosen anything, you're just keeping yourself in victimhood. Okay, so it's not about avoiding difficult situations. It's about navigating them with ease. Experiencing the suffering without the suffering, experiencing the circumstances, but without creating the suffering, because the suffering comes from your thinking about it. The suffering comes from your thinking about it. If you can choose to see it as a springboard to your enlightenment, then, well, I have a good example though, because right here, a lot of people are feeling really poorly at the moment, okay? Now, you could choose to believe that, oh, I'm really sick, oh, I don't feel very well, oh, poor me, poor me, poor me, right? Well, that's a very contracted state to be in, right? Well, I was saying to someone the other day, I was like, hey, this is great. And they're like, what, that I'm poorly? And I'm like, yeah, because some people choose to believe, there's always a choice, choose to believe that they're ascension symptoms. People are talking about ascension symptoms. And especially now, between the 12th and the 21st of December, the light coming in is so powerful. In order to integrate it into the cells of our body, to embody it, okay, we need to purge. Purge is the word. Purge is the word. And purging is to cleanse. It is to get rid of what isn't serving you. Well, if your physical body does that, that does mean vomiting and diarrhea, doesn't it? That does mean, and then you've got to rest in order to integrate the light. So how does your body get you to rest when you refuse to rest? It gives you flu, a headache, makes you tired, makes you exhausted, all these things. But your body's doing that for you to stop so that you can lie down, integrate the light. And so if you look at it that way, it's like, yay, I'm integrating the light. You're still expanded. You put the meaning on it. I have a video on the meaning of life. And it talks about how it doesn't matter what's happening in your life, you choose the meaning that you want to put on it. So you can choose to be in a contracted state of, I'm sick, I'm poorly, I don't feel very well. Or you can choose to say, I'm going to give myself some rest because I'm integrating the light. This is really exciting, but I just need to sleep and, mop my brow or what have you for a while. It's the same circumstance, but a different way of looking at it. That's what I'm saying. It's not like forcing you to stay positive all the time. It's like just looking at the bigger picture and seeing what's going on. Because what happens is these shifts are going on in our non-physical parts of our energy, okay? Because we're multidimensional beings. And this is just, your human is just your physical representation. You have a fourth dimensional emotional body, a fourth dimensional mental body, thoughts and emotions, right? But you have a fifth dimensional soul. You also have sixth, seventh, eighth dimensional parts of you as well. That's where you come into your galactic family parts, and it goes on and on and on, right? So you are non-physical. There are non-physical parts of you, and the shifts are happening in the non-physical parts of you. But that shift needs to manifest itself into your human, into your physical body. And that's why sometimes ascension symptoms can be pain, twinges, all sorts of things going on, because the physical body is dense. And as it's integrating that high frequency, the low frequency is leaving. It makes perfect sense when you look at it that way. So if you have been feeling poorly lately, please look at it that way, because that will keep you in an expanded state of being and looking at the bigger picture, looking at everything from a soul level. Okay, because you are just your human in this lifetime. Your essence is eternal. Okay, your soul is eternal. Okay, and infinite. So all of that from here, because one of the messages with this card in traditional tarot is to roll with the punches, and I think that's very relevant as well. It's like I just said, it's not about avoiding the punches. It's about navigating them with ease. Okay, and look at your next card, the Sun. What have we been talking about? Integrating the light. I saw the sunrise this morning. It was stunning. And there was something more powerful about it than usual. Or maybe that was just for me. That was the meaning that I chose to put on it. You can put that kind of meaning on everything in your life. Every flower that you look at, every dog bark that you hear, you choose, It's fun when you live in this kind of, cloud cuckoo land, my husband would call it. It doesn't matter. Are you feeling good, and are you feeling expanded? That's all that matters. Horses are movement in the right direction. The baby signifies the rebirth of Mother Earth, your rebirth, the new earth. The sun, the rays from the sun represent spiritual guidance. I mean, this is the card with the greatest amount of spiritual guidance. So much abundance there. Light. The sun is light. It's our source of light. Now, even in the winter, we need to get out into sunlight. I mean, all this, even if you're staying indoors, go and sit at the window, if you need to be indoors or what have you, some kind of light. Use mirrors in your room to reflect the light, to bring more light in if you can't get outside. But if you can get outside, even if it's cold, wrap up and just, even if it's cloudy, just out some daylight hours. The days are very short at the moment in the Northern Hemisphere. So make sure you get out there and just put your face up to the sky and then put meaning on that. I'm integrating the light. It's beautiful. Let's make that our affirmation for the week, shall we? I'm integrating the light. Okay, I am the light. Whatever you like. But use the word light because it's coming up. It's coming up a lot. Sunlight, and also vitamin C. We've got vitamin C, vitamin D. This is now coming up as well. I think we all need a little bit extra of that, maybe. You can sway test it. Okay, I'll put a link into my sway testing video for those of you that haven't seen it, and at the end screen, because just ask your body if you need more vitamin C. You can ask your body if you need more vitamin D. And then you can get some supplements, and then you ask your body, do I need 1 a day? Yes or no? 2 a day? Yes or no? Okay, so don't listen to me. Don't go running out to get vitamin C or D because I mentioned it. It just came through to say that because we're talking about the sun and the goodness and everything else. So you check out with your sway test whether you need it, but it's coming up that I think a lot of us probably will do. So beautiful, beautiful. This is the most powerful, most positive card in the deck. Yeah, I'm not surprised it's come up because I was feeling like that before, something powerful going on. And here's our card, the Four of Swords. Now, the Four of Swords is usually about worry, okay? But this is what I'm saying. If you're feeling poorly, don't worry, okay? And it's usually more about retreating and relaxing. It's basically the need to retreat and relax. So it's basically what I was saying before. If you're not feeling well, it's your body telling you, your higher self telling you, take time out. You've got to integrate this light. So take as much time out as you can, okay? And relax. Because if you keep pushing yourself, that's when you're going to get exhausted, of course. So there is a little bit of anxiety going on here as well, because obviously when this high frequency comes in, it can make us a little bit buzzy, you know. And so if you don't understand what's going on, then that can make you a little bit anxious, agreed? And when you start getting poorly and you have to take time off work, you can get anxious, right? So understanding the bigger picture is everything, because you're not really poorly. You're integrating the light. That's what I want to say. Take time out, nurture yourself, have that hot bath with essential oils or whatever it is that you need to have. Take every opportunity to put a positive meaning on what you're experiencing. Okay, looking at nature, look at a tree, talk to it. I listen to a dog bark. I mentioned that earlier. Listen to a dog bark. Like, what's it saying? You know, normally you find that a negative thing if a dog's barking. You know, it's disturbing you, right? No, listen. Choose an expanded meaning to it. You're creating your reality. You're creating it all, and you're creating it through your thoughts and your beliefs, and you're creating it through the meaning that you're putting on it. So you put the meaning that you want on these things, okay? So if you're not feeling well, congratulations, you're integrating more light. But I'm sending you so much love and blessings. And I hope this is a little bit clearer, and we'll see how it is. All right, so lots of love to you all for now. See you in the next video.